Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. I think we've all pretty much heard that, right? And it's very important and very pertinent to, I believe, in my opinion, what Trump is in part trying to accomplish with these deals with all of these nations for tariffs and, business manufacturing and businesses coming to America. And I think I understand what he might be trying to do. People are outraged that Trump has been sitting down cordially with leaders of nations that routinely commit atrocities, and that we, America, have historically harassed, bullied, and isolated, such as the Uyghurs are enslaved in China. The UAE has Chop Chop Square and just absolute horrendous rule. You can't, I'm surprised anybody can survive there. Now the Christians in Nigeria. So everyone's outraged that he's parlaying with these leaders and having these leaders at the White House and stuff. But there is a concept behind this. And it starts with keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Because if a country has something that you want or need to benefit you and your people, it is important to try to obtain access to it. Like precious minerals, rare earth minerals, okay, for example. And you can't get to those things and access those things by bullying, harassing, and isolating. You have to, you get more bees with honey than vinegar. But the caveat to this is that now that he has good relations, contracts in place, promises to make everybody happy and rich and secure and safe and whatnot, now, because he has a foothold in the UAE, Ukraine, parts of Africa and stuff, because of these deals, we have a foothold that gives us some power and some say. An example is the Christians being slaughtered in Nigeria. Trump called them up, said, hey, this is going to stop or we're going to hurt you. Trump told Venezuela, stop sending drugs or we're going to hurt you. Let's work together. Let's get some agricultural trade going. Let's do some other things and not drugs, okay? He's trying to work out deals with China. He understands that there are atrocities in the UAE, in the Arab nations. But now that he has trade deals, signed contractual trade deals, he has a foothold in those nations where atrocities are taking place. He is not getting these deals and saying, oh, I'm just going to turn a blind eye. He's not going to do that. What he's doing is he's saying, okay, we have a contract now, and I have power, I have hold. And if you don't stop this, all bets are off. And God knows what he's put in those contracts. We don't know. Maybe he put in there that these atrocities need to stop, that human rights need to be recognized. He may be putting some other things in there. But also, too, if we have physical, material, organic rights there, such as we buy mines, mineral mines. I think we got some rare mineral mines from the Ukraine, right? If you buy that, that means we own that land, we own that property, and that we can send in our military or send in diplomats or whatever to manage, maintain, and protect that property. That's the foothold. And if we don't like what's going on over there, we now have a say. Before Trump, we didn't have a say in this. And all we did was ignore them, harass, bully, and isolate them. And we suffered and struggled. If your neighbor is a bully, isolating him isn't going to make the problem go away. It's not going to make the problem better. You have to find a peaceful way to live where he's law-abiding, you're law-abiding, and everybody's just living their best life. What has been practiced to this point with these foreign nations, with trade, with commerce, with all of it, human rights, democracy, has not worked. If it had, we would not be at odds. We wouldn't have human atrocities taking place all over the world. We would have stepped in before. So instead of judging Trump, instead of calling him names, instead of using this against him, why don't you try giving him a chance and understand there might be some underlying stuff that you aren't privy to? Like Jamie Raskin, he's on television right now with a foreign-born woman who is screaming about Trump, about the atrocities that happened to her husband with the UAE, and that shame on him for, getting into trade with these people and being nice to these people. Well, also to keep in mind that in these nations, they have, supreme leaders, the supreme, royal wizard or whatever. These are very protected, isolated people. They're told what they're told by their constituents and by their, policymakers and by their employees. And they may or may not be 100% in on what's going on. And if they're made aware of it, or they're being pressured by the U.S. to knock it off, they might actually act. You know what I mean? But let's give Trump a little bit of time as far as the atrocities go, the human atrocities. Of course, they need to stop. We went in and blew up Iraq because of human atrocities. We went in and blew up, how many nations have we blown up for atrocities? Every war since the Revolutionary War, they're foreign wars, with the exception of the Civil War. They've been foreign wars where we have gone onto foreign soil and we have fought against atrocities. We will do it, and it can be successful, but look at the risk. And if the risk now is to set up a contract, a deal, a parlay with these assholes in these other nations, and then once you slide in that signature, say, okay, now we're going to talk about the atrocities. And Nigeria has been warned, Venezuela has been warned, the drug traffickers have been warned. And because of that, I think that's an example that Trump can use now to say, hey, you know what? I'm not fucking with you. See this contract? Yeah, unless you want me to tear it up and wipe my ass with it, you're going to comply. So there are other aspects of these trade deals that don't have to do with commerce and bringing in jobs that we may or may not be able to fill. It may actually be beneficial to stopping these atrocities. So give them a chance, step back, stop listening to these fear-mongering alarmists who have zero information about what they're talking about, because, there's always, there's three sides to every story: yours, theirs, and the truth. And until next time, do good and be good.